Welcome, everybody, to 6 Foot Studios. This is the American Forked Podcast, where we get together as friends from American Fork, Utah, to discuss how to fix the things going on in the world.
But do we really discuss how to fix it, though?
Kind of.
Maybe we should do that more.
Let's do it more.
Okay. I think we just talk about it, and then we quit worrying about it because we
talked about it.
I think the idea we come up with the ideas and we leave it to someone else.
Isn't that what like Martin Luther King Jr. said? If we don't talk about it, it won't get fixed.
Talk about it and then leave it alone.
I just made that up.
Content. I thought that was content of your character.
Yeah. Wasn't that ABBA? Talk about, talk about, talk about, talk about.
Oh yeah.
Is that the name of that artist?
I don't know. Oh. This is a question.
We don't know anything.
Oh, we're doing a podcast.
Thanks for listening. This is Jake. I have with me Phil.
What up? It's
Jeff.
Phil and Jeff.
And this is Jeff.
It's the three of us.
And this is Jeff.
Don't ever think that Phil is Jeff.
Yeah, don't ever think that.
Shut up. Do I sound like that?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
My sister said, I have a hard time telling your friends' voices apart except for
Phil,
Jeff, and Trent.
Oh.
She can't tell mine apart? Mine's like the weirdest one.
The one that from Third Rock from the Sun or whatever.
Yeah. Some guy on some show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I smoked cigarettes in my life. Don't do that, but that's probably why.
That's right. That's why you got the radio growl.
I'm speaking out of my tracheotomy right now. That's not funny, is it? Okay.
Like this. So thanks for listening to the show. If you have not yet listened to last episode 70, it was a special highlight episode, our Memorial Day episode that we had released where we interviewed my father, Lloyd, and he talked about his experience when he was shot down in Iraq. And if you want to view we have a bunch of photos from his experience that he talked about on patreon.com/AmericanForked. And we also posted there and on YouTube the video that he compiled about that moment in time when he was shot down. Put those on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. In a sadistic, weird, war-ish way.
It's a great episode, and we should probably throw it up on our favorites.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. It'll definitely be one of our most downloaded ones. I've had a lot of people say that they liked it and listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it inspired us. Next week we're having a guest on. His name's Trent, and he's going to tell us stories of being shot down at the bar, picking up on girls. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, similar experience. Where's my camera?
Very similar.
And I left my camera.
He's going 130 knots straight for that girl with the martini, and he gets shot down.
Shot down. I get it.
Good.
So a lot of stuff's going on in the world today. Wanted to start with obviously local news. I nothing really going on in American Fork.
Then, because I have an American Fork thing.
Go ahead.
Is it from your house?
I just went to the American Fork High School graduation.
Oh,
for my baby brother.
Oh,
Graduated from high school.
Was it at the Marriott Center?
At the Marriott Center.
Isn't he like 6 still?
He is 16 plus a year, I think.
Oh, wow.
It was when you graduate.
So
that's cool.
So they don't.
Pretty
stop
exciting. But they were saying at the commencement or whatever that American Fork High School just won more titles than any other year in its history.
Wow.
So they pretty much killed it this year.
Yeah, that was the only American Fork thing I was going to mention was that American Fork High School sports has killed it this year.
Yeah.
Football, tennis, cross country, baseball, they've all done incredibly well.
I mean, how many of those are really sports? I heard football, baseball, and then there's a couple others you were talking about.
Tennis or something?
Tetanus?
Yes, Jeff.
And a distance, cross country.
Tennis is one of those sports that like nobody wins. It's
unless it's table tennis.
You just shake. That's true.
That's a real
just love
sport.
each other all the time.
Table tennis is the best.
It is.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is neat.
Good job, American Fork High
So
School.
yeah, they did pretty good. And they had I think the valedictorian, he got up and his dad died of COVID, I guess. So that sucks. And it was interesting because all the students that spoke, there was somehow some COVID in there, because I didn't really think about it, but the kids graduating now have spent like most of high school with COVID.
A lot of time at home learning.
Yeah.
They were complaining about online learning and like trying to be like, oh, I can't turn my camera on, teacher, and like stuff like that. Well, they could really, but they're just pretending like they can't. You know what I mean?
That COVID story doesn't irritate me because it's weird. Like they are totally at the effect of this whole situation. The students, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they're not pushing it on anyone. They're not really doing their own thing. They're like, this is pushed on them. So the challenges they're having with that, I can totally understand.
Yeah.
Irritating.
So it was interesting. But anyway, way to go, AF High School.
AF has gone from a 3A when we were in school to a 6A.
Yeah.
Which is a huge school.
Yeah, there were almost 800 graduates. It was like the whole floor of the arena filled with
what did we have? Probably 300 when we were
3 or 4.
I thought that's about what it was. Yeah.
But the other 300 or 400 didn't graduate from our class.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
I don't.
What was that other story you were talking about?
We have statewide news.
Oh, okay.
So Hill Air Force Base hosts the Air Force Air Show every 2 years.
Ooh.
But 2 years ago they didn't because of COVID. So now from a 4-year hiatus, they are back to going to be back on the schedule, back in the air this summer.
Back in the saddle again.
Back in the air.
The Air Force, just like flying?
The air show.
Oh, the air show.
The air show. What did I say?
Have you been there before?
No.
Phil? Oh my gosh.
I haven't.
You go up to Hill Air Force Base, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have planes that are on the ground and they have planes flying over and they do cool stuff. Like you can go walk up to planes and helicopters. And I'm probably ruining Jake's story, but basically
Completely ruining it.
that's you walk through a big airplane.
Mm-hmm.
I should
Walk
do
through
it. That it sounds like my kids would love it.
Let's all do it.
Yeah, it's definitely family focused. It's June 25th to 26th. The admission is free. And the activities include full-scale models of the Mars rover Perseverance and helicopter Ingenuity.
Oh.
Drone simulators, wind tunnels, virtual welder, which is probably like VR-based welding. You know, you can weld on Mars by remotely. Probably something similar to
what were
that.
the dates? I'm putting it in my calendar right now.
June 25 to 26.
25, 26. Guess what else is going on then? The Utah Arts Festival. But that's okay.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather go to the air show.
They have robotic arms that you can control, 3D printing, marble roller coaster, virtual reality, and a ton of other stuff.
Whoa. All paid for by tax dollars?
Probably.
Oh.
Have you
Might
guys
as
been
well
up?
go.
Have you been up there to just see the regular museum?
No,
they have at
I've
Hill?
never been there.
Oh my gosh, you should go.
Wait, is that the one that's in Ogden or something?
It's in Layton.
Oh, yeah. That's why I haven't been.
You can tell I'm not from Layton because I say Layton.
Not Layton.
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 You should go
Rough.
up there. It's super cool. They've got like
Crick.
huge warehouses of like retired planes
Yeah.
and like I can't even tell you all the names of the planes, but you go in, they got like replicas of the old H-bombs and like crazy cool stuff.
We were just going to go actually a couple months ago, but they were still requiring masks, and we were like, nope.
The B-52 is there.
Yeah, you know, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
B-52s.
that's there too.
Rock
now,
Lobster.
now we can't air this episode.
We can't?
Because you're saying copyright material.
No, the airplane plays that song.
Oh, when it flies, that's the
The song
frequency
that
of
it
the
wrote.
pistons.
The song that the inanimate object plane wrote. Yeah, I took my kids to Hill Air Force Base last year, and my dad was our tour guide
Oh, great.
because
Just kidding.
he used to take his students there when he taught aviation at Timpanogos High School, and he gave us the stories about like the history of the planes and the helicopters there. It was really cool.
That would be cool.
I'm going with your dad. Is he
The
going to the air show?
I don't know.
He is, and I'm going to go with him.
I'm going to take him with you.
we're texting your dad now.
Another item, Utah County based. I should have done this one first, but I have a list of all of the most popular baby names in Utah County in 2021.
Xander with an
Ooh.
X.
COVID.
So previous years, we were kind of following the trend of really uniquely spelled, new, modern names. But in 2021, that was not the case. I have the top 5 girls' names and top 5 boys' names
This is nationwide?
in Utah County.
Oh,
Oh
in
my
Utah
gosh.
County.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is according to Utah Valley Pediatrics or something like that.
Oh,
What do they know about this?
Yeah, Utah Valley. What do they know about babies?
How about this? I'll
They just
take
work
a
on
guess.
feet all
If I
day.
hit the top 5, you owe me lunch.
Top 5.
If I hit the top
any
5
of the
with
top
one of my
10.
guesses, like
you're
I'll
gonna
guess a boy name and a
let's-
girl name.
Let's clear this out.
Okay.
If either one of you guesses 5 out of the top 10, so 5 girls.
Oh,
5
no,
no,
no.
way. That's
Just-
impossible. I'm talking one.
Any one?
out
One
of
name.
the boys and one out of the girls.
How about one name, but it's got to be in the top 5?
Do we have to agree on it? We have to agree on it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Boy-
what's the prize?
You buy us lunch.
Lunch.
And if
For
we
the-
lose,
I'll
then
buy
you
lunch
don't
for
get lunch.
the person or peoples
Yeah.
who guesses correctly one of the top 10 names.
Top 5.
Well,
you can
5
do top
boys,
10.
5 girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Oh, so you get a boy and a girl guess.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it has to be a spicy chicken sandwich. Okay.
Okay.
Phil,
Okay.
what's the top 5 girl names? Utah County.
Sharon,
Ashley.
Stacy.
Stacy. Let's go with
How many guesses do we get?
No,
5?
no, we just choose one and then we ask Jake if it's on
You
there.
just
Oh.
keep
This is
naming
the hard.
names
No, we're
until you get
we're
it.
getting on the same page, Phil and I.
Okay.
You're reading each other's minds
Um,
verbally.
Karen.
Ooh, Bailey. Bailey.
Bailey.
Bailey.
Bailey,
We're
one
locking
of
that
them?
in. Bailey.
BAYLEIGH.
That's just, just Bailey. Any spelled
Any spelling
version.
of Bailey.
Yeah.
Is not one of them.
Oh, I thought for sure that would be
So,
one.
so it was a good process of elimination there, though.
Yeah.
You guys did a good job. Keep in mind, so the trend for the names was older names.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
So-
we screwed up.
so-
So what were the top girl names now?
Gertrude,
'cause we're gonna guess-
Prudence.
Top 5
Nona.
girls' names, starting with 5 down to 1, were Hazel,
Oh my God.
Amelia,
What?
Lucy,
Okay.
Emma,
Uh-huh.
and Olivia.
Those are all old names.
Like a grandma. Your grandma may have
Yeah.
had that
See,
name.
when you said old names, I'm like Temperance, Gertrude.
Guinevere.
Yeah.
You're just
really
thinking
old.
pioneers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got it. So boy names now. Me and Phil have to guess a boy name.
Guess one of the 5 top boy names.
We get a spicy
Ammon.
chicken. Wait, no, don't lock it in yet. Jeez.
Ammon,
Look at me.
Nephi,
They're just brainstorming right now, right?
That's too old. I'm thinking Jack, Fred,
Mulek,
Ken. Don't look at him. We got to lock in our answer, and then we'll look at him. Which one? do you think?
Lehi.
No, that's way too old.
I'm just thinking Book of Mormon names.
I know.
It's Utah Valley. So
Let's say like Jack.
Ezekiel.
That's an old name. Moses. Yahweh.
Jesus.
okay, what name?
I'm saying Jack.
I'm gonna say something like Rock or Butch.
Brock. No, that's a new name.
Brock
Butch.
or Rock.
Ooh, Wyatt. Wyatt's probably on there.
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
You guessing Wyatt?
Yeah.
Wyatt's our final
That's
answer.
your final answer?
Yeah.
Chicken sandwich. man.
Wyatt is not one of them.
Son of a. Okay.
Starting
Brock
with
is,
5.
or
Ooh,
Rock.
I should have said Lincoln.
5, Hudson.
Hudson.
4, William.
Bill.
I was gonna say Will.
3, Oliver.
Ooh.
2, Jack.
Son of a. That was my
He was
first
so close. And number 1 most popular boy's name in Utah County in 2021 was James.
Wow.
They really are
Jack
all
and-
old names.
Yeah,
Jack and James are like the most common names ever.
Yeah.
Seems like.
next to
Well,
John.
English.
Like,
John or
hasn't Tom
Joseph.
Cruise played a Jack in like 7 of his movies?
He hasn't one of them I know of.
Jack.
Wasn't he Jack Reacher?
No.
Ja-
Wasn't Jack Reacher Keanu?
No.
No, that was
Jack.
John Wick.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Jack Reacher. I think when he played in that one movie with the devil in it, his name was Jack.
Legend?
Legend.
I am
Yeah.
Legend. Yeah.
Legend.
The Legend
Yeah.
with the unicorns.
Yeah, where he like
Yeah,
walks
you're right.
through
That was
their
his
laser
first-
eyes or
That was
whatever.
his first movie.
Yeah. And what else? Isn't his name Jack in Mission Impossible?
No, it's
First name Mission.
Oh yeah.
Last name Impossible.
not Jack. No, it's not Jack.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
You're
Oh,
right.
it's Clarence.
You watch every Tom Cruise movie.
I don't know
Oliver.
actually.
Oh.
But I actually really do want to go see the new Top Gun movie.
Yeah,
that
I
looks
do too.
freaking awesome.
It does.
But can I have a confession?
What?
I've never seen the first Top Gun.
What?
I'm dead serious.
Let's watch it.
You've
sometime.
never seen the gayest scene
I've seen
in
that
history,
scene
then. Oh.
because someone pointed it
so
out to
many
me.
times. Seen that a lot of
Believe me.
times.
Can you say 2 a.m. and that scene? No, I've seen that scene because it's come up a lot in references. So I've seen that, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But the whole I haven't seen the whole movie,
Yeah.
so I want to watch that, and then I want to go see it in theaters.
Yeah. I do
Seems
too.
like a movie you'd see in theaters.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I want to see what else? The other one,
Oh yeah,
Doctor Strange.
Oh,
And the new Thor looks
Didn't
really
like it.
great.
Doctor
Oh,
Strange.
You didn't like it?
No,
Really?
Almost walked out.
what?
Really?
But my son was there. It was like,
Oh, you weren't supposed to take your son. Didn't you hear that from everyone on Earth?
no, I
Oh,
didn't.
Everyone
And
was like, this is way too dark and grim for
It
children.
was very dark.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a jump scare thriller, mystical
It's like a horror movie, I hear.
horror. Yeah, it was like
The first Doctor Strange?
The new one that's out now.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? The new one?
the mystery of madness.
Multiverse
of
Madness.
The original one was like one of my favorite Marvels. Period.
Yeah, this one was just was odd, and
Really?
it had these weirdly placed, cheesy one-liners.
Dad jokes?
One-liners that were like just don't put that there.
Yeah.
It was it was weird to me.
Oh, that's too bad.
It was
Dang
odd.
it.
The Thor looks good, though.
Okay, book, give me what I need. That's what he said to.
Oh, really? That does.
So
that,
I'm going to walk into a library and say that out loud just so that I can.
that does make
that
like
movie.
my lower spine where it connects your tailbone like hurt.
Quiver a little.
Like when it's so cheesy. Like when you're out in the woods by yourself at night and you hear a rustle and like your neck hairs prickle up.
Uh-huh.
It's like when you hear something that's so. What's the word I'm looking for?
Cringy,
Cringy. Yeah.
but your butt hairs stick up in this case.
Yeah, maybe that's what's happening. Like right above the butt.
And another one, he's like, "You're going to have to do more than kill me to kill me."
Yeah, same reaction down there.
Yeah.
So,
But watch it. You might like it. Tyler and Mike liked it.
oh, did they?
I love the first one. So
I wonder if it was worse because your son was there.
Maybe.
'cause-
Sometimes I'm like, that's a little bit too dark for him.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't know. It's like they tried to throw all of these genres together and try to make it work.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was just odd.
I've realized lately that, not to continue to derail where you're going, but I'm a bad dad when it comes to movies because I'm like sitting down with my kids. They're like 4, 6, and 9. And I'm like, let's watch Indiana Jones. That's a great
Raiders
one.
of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I'm thinking when I play it, I'm like, all I got to do is skip the end where the guy's face melts. Nope. Because in the first 5 minutes, there's like an impaled guy with spikes sticking out of his face
Right.
and a bunch of skeletons. And like, it was like straight up, could be rated R today.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 minutes.
I started showing my kids movies, but I'm showing them old comedies, what I consider a comedy. There's a lot of different ones. So most recently we just watched, well, the one that kicked it all off, but my kids are way excited for, is we watched Weekend at Bernie's. And there's a few scenes. If you guys have seen that, right?
Nope.
Oh,
I don't think so.
it's not even
Who's in it?
animated.
No.
Who's in it?
I couldn't even tell you the actors and actresses, and I'm sure some of our listeners are like screaming right now. But it's called Weekend at Bernie's. What happens is a guy, their really rich boss of these two kids, invites them to come out to like a vacation home with him, and he's like a total really rich like stock market dude or something, like insurance guy.
Yeah.
And he dies. But they pretend like he's still alive because they didn't want to ruin the weekend. And so they're basically carrying a dead body around and pretending like he's alive. And it's completely absurd, like ridiculous, right? But 1989 is when it came out. My kids loved it so much. They thought it was like so funny.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to show them older movies like that. We watched Shanghai Noon with Owen Wilson and the funny guy, Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ruining my reputation of it's not animated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
we're beginning to think that you're
just lying.
lying that you've only seen animated movies.
How do you watch them though? Because you don't have a DVD player.
I stream them.
Oh,
LimeWire.
Yeah, with LimeWire. I stream them on my laptop.
I get it.
No, but anyways, so I'm putting together a list of movies to show them that they would love to see and would enjoy, hopefully. Not Doctor Strange, crappy movie, scary jump scare.
Not The Ring.
Show me what you can do book.
Okay. That's a
Yeah,
good
but
idea.
Top Gun
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah, you should watch the first one.
Okay.
From what I understand, I mean, based on all the trailers, I think we know the whole film now, the whole story.
Of the new one.
But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it picks up. I mean, you have to watch the first one in order to
Yeah, I'll
to
tell
really
you what
get
it is.
the second one.
They call up Tom Cruise. They're like, we need a top special mission, and these guys have to do something real crazy. I didn't want to call you because you're a hothead, but my general said you're the guy to call, so you're here. And he's like, thanks very much. I am the best. And then he goes out and he's like, hey, cadets, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh,
Old
you're so
man.
hot, but you don't even know all these computer, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes up there and schools them all because he's like old school, flies really fast. And then Jennifer Connelly's in it, so we're all excited about that. And then Goose's son is also in it. We saw that in the trailers, right? And he's going to, somehow Tom Cruise is going to die to save him,
They're going to butt heads.
is my guess.
You think
So-
Tom Cruise is going to die?
Yeah.
Dang.
Because in the first, well, I won't spoil the first one for you, but
Dude.
after you watch it, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
well, we
So-
know they have a funeral, and it appears as though
And that's
Tom Cruise's character, Maverick, is at the funeral.
And I bet that's Iceman, Val Kilmer. I think there's going to be a scene.
Who's in the casket?
Yeah, there's probably going to be a scene with him, and he's going to be like, "I'm old and sick."
So you already ruined it
Dies
for
of-
me. So
He dies
basically,
of COVID.
so in the first one, Tom Cruise kills Goose. Or because of him, Goose dies.
Yeah, kind of an accident.
See, I think that Tom Cruise is just going to kill Goose's son, too.
Maybe.
Just carry on the exact same story.
Maybe the same thing.
Maybe instead of like a hot volleyball scene, it'll be like a super hot pickleball scene. It's basically going to be the same movie.
Oh, there is a hot volleyball scene too.
Oh, I hope so.
So,
Then Doctor Strange comes in at the end through the portal.
With
Yeah.
his rings and...
so I just ruined it for everyone. I'm sorry.
Oh, spoiler alert
But-
from a
We'll
movie
just
out
call
25
this. We'll
years
just title
ago.
this episode "Spoiler."
In my
Alert.
defense, they've shown the whole movie on like 70 trailers.
Everything that he
so-
just said was on all the trailers.
Yeah. So, anyway,
What was the story that led us to this?
Tom
Wow, that
Cruise
was a
has
tangent,
the
wasn't
same Jack name in every.
Oh, that's
movie.
right.
We were
Kids' names.
15 minutes
We
ago.
were talking about baby names.
Oh, okay.
So
Good.
continue.
Yeah.
Right back on track.
Yeah.
So a news art, something that's happened in the news that I have to mention because it's the biggest thing going on right now. Just
Gas prices.
Yesterday for us right now on May 24th, just over a week ago for you, if you're downloading this episode, as soon as it's released, there was a shooting in Texas
Oh, that's right.
at an elementary school. It's the second deadliest elementary or school shooting in the United States.
And that's next to Sandy Hook.
Sandy
I
Hook was the
assume?
first.
Yeah.
I think 26 people were killed in that one.
Yeah.
And
Unless
this
you're
one,
Alex Jones.
unless you're, yes, unless you're Alex Jones, who has reneged on his statement and now does not believe or says he believes Sandy Hook was real.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to mention the name of the shooter because
F that.
F that.
Yeah.
But-
F that guy.
There was an elementary school called Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, which is in the southwestern area of Texas, about 30 miles northeast of the Mexico border. That where this shooter barricaded himself in. Well, he lived with his grandparents. He shot his grandmother, who survived. Went to the school, barricaded himself in one of the classrooms, and shot the students there. Killed 19 students and 2 teachers.
And do they know why he went? Because he was like 18, wasn't he?
He was 18, and I guess he had just recently, for his 18th birthday, bought a couple. I saw a photo. It appeared to be an AR-15 and another long gun of some sort. And they said that he had a rifle in his possession. That's all I've heard so far.
But they didn't
When
say
he-
why he went to an elementary school.
No, he was a resident of the town, and he had posted 30 minutes before on Facebook that he was going to go shoot up a school. But I don't know what his motive was.
He posted 30 minutes and they didn't figure that out.
I don't know if you want to get me started, but
We'll get you started here in a minute.
okay.
But yeah, I haven't seen anywhere what his motives were, except that he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because only psychopaths do stuff like that.
Well, the other one was weird. Was it Sandy Hook that was weird because it was like his mom worked at the elementary school or something? So he went there to shoot his mom or some relative, and then he shot a bunch more people.
Well, he shot his mom in bed, right, that morning.
This one did.
Sandy Hook.
Oh.
Isn't that what? He took her gun and shot her at home and then went to the school, if I remember correctly.
Maybe, but maybe she worked there. I can't remember.
But I think she did have either worked there or had some sort of she was on the payroll there or something.
Maybe. And that's why, and not that I'm saying in any sense that like, oh, that's why he shot people. But it's like, well, I see why he went there because he at least knew
Well, yeah, why did
somebody.
he choose that over another? I mean, it was, so Uvalde, Texas is a tiny town of a population of like less than, the 2020 census had it at like 15,200 people.
Yeah.
In that town. So it was definitely one of the most populated areas in the town at the time. So his motivation was probably he just wanted to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to do that is to, go somewhere, there's not going to be anyone to oppose you, right? Where you have got a bunch of innocent victims in one place.
It seems like such wasted like use of crazy people. Like there's got to be a way we can pick them up, insert them in Ukraine on the front line and be like, "Oh yeah, aren't you mad? Go that way."
You want to shoot people, right? Yeah, go shoot people here.
I don't know. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. And right after this shooting, Governor Abbott, who's the governor of Texas, was having I don't know if it was a town hall or a hearing of some sort of press conference of some. Yeah, it was his update of what's going on, and it was in Uvalde, Texas, and Beto O'Rourke, who is the Democratic opponent of him running for governor of Texas, stood up out of turn and started spouting out, this was preventable, and if you don't do something about this, talking to the governor.
It's your fault.
Is on your
you
hands.
haven't done anything.
It's all your fault because you haven't done anything. And it was just this huge back and forth, and people were yelling at him, telling him to get out of there. And the problem is he immediately politicized it, and that's what I think. As soon as we politicize something like this, we lose. We don't get anywhere.
Absolutely.
So what was he saying? Has he said how he could have prevented it?
Who?
Beto O'Rourke or whatever?
Yeah, because it has to do with gun restrictions.
Yeah, well,
this guy has openly come out in favor of door-to-door confiscate your guns.
Oh, of all guns.
When he ran for president last time,
yep.
he ran on the platform. Yes, we would. When he was asked, "Will you confiscate guns?" He said, "Yes, I support door-to-door confiscation of weapons. We'll take away your AR-15s and all of the guns." And so he's been an advocate for extreme gun control.
I've been a little quiet because I'm trying to calculate how many friends I might lose with this, but here it goes. There's a serious problem here. The first time when I found out about this shooting, I found it on a social media platform, and I saw somebody's post talking about how people claim that they want to save children's lives by keeping abortion away, or by outlawing abortion, but then they let these school shootings go unhandled. Basically saying people are in support of banning abortion and having guns, and it's the exact same thing. That is so ridiculous to me that you even compare those two things. Because if you look at the amount, I think the statistic was something like, and someone can correct me, but over the last 5 years, we've lost 107 or 110 kids to school shootings, which is ridiculous. It's not okay, for sure. Like I don't. No one in their right mind agrees with that. But if you look at like if you actually think that aborting a child is losing a life, then I guess what I'm saying is they're not even comparable. They're not comparable pieces of datum.
Well, how many is it? It's like 30 million abortions a year.
Right.
And that might be worldwide. I don't know. It seems
You
like
know what?
it's a way high number.
Let's say it's 500 a year.
Yeah.
That's literally times 5 years over. And just it's ridiculous. They're not even comparable things. But what really where it comes down to, and what I enjoy is like, if you get rid of guns, and this has been proven over and over and over again, I can't believe that we're even talking about it still. Australia is a case in point on this. You get rid of guns, guess who gets rid of their guns? All the good people. All the law-abiding citizens go, here's my guns, I forfeit them, right?
Yeah.
But criminals just go, sweet.
Right.
I can just go in somewhere and they're not going to be guns. And guess what? Places where there factually is a very, 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 very small amount of guns, people just rob shit and do mass murders with knives. Or they find some...
Or they make a bomb.
Yeah. And I heard this on the radio today. You can't stop crazy. So we need to get smart about this.
Yeah.
Single point entrances for schools. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not lockdowns? Two entrance lockdowns. You're locked down. You check in with the office, bulletproof glass. Guess what? You ain't getting in unless you check in with them. And if the guy's shady, then you're stopped.
Yeah.
Matt.
If he's got a gas mask and SWAT gear on, probably don't let him in.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like there's some smart things we can do. I have my own opinions about it. And just in this exact school shooting, guess how it got stopped? It wasn't from calling the cops. It was that a border patrol agent got there before anyone else did and ran in and shot the guy.
Yeah. I was wondering why would a border patrol agent be 25, 30 miles from the border, but I'm sure there's stations
everywhere, probably
everywhere around the southern border. But
so Canada has pretty strict gun control, and they just had that shooting last week, a week ago, where 22 people were killed in Nova Scotia.
Right.
A guy posing as a police officer went in and shot up they also shot up a elementary school.
Well, and I hate to say this, they train this to you when you get your concealed carry permit. Guess where you can't carry guns? Schools.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to carry a gun in a school. So where are you going to go if you want to? Why didn't this guy go to Walmart? I'll tell you why. Because there's public walking around. There's probably 30% of the people in there are carrying guns.
Yeah.
And, but you got to go to a place where you can win.
I agree. I think they either got to give teachers guns or they've got to metal detect schools at this point. And people are like, oh, look what that says about our society or whatever. But it seems to be getting worse and worse. Like, they're more frequent. I mean, you can try and take all the guns away. That's going to be a disaster, I think. I mean, I've said this before. If the police came to my house and were like, give us your guns, I'd probably do it. I'm not gonna die on my right to bear arms, even though I understand it's important for people. But if I had guns, I'm not saying I even do.
I would.
Right.
But you would die. Yeah, and I respect that. I don't think that's crazy, and I think similarly, people might die for their right for an abortion, or their right for this or that. I don't know.
The problem is I'm in full support of gun restrictions being the solution, but no one has ever convinced me that that's going to solve the problem. Or they just look at me and go, "What? You think if we don't get guns off the streets, you're an idiot?" It's like, no, it does not make any sense to me.
No one has, many people are saying we need sensible gun laws. Come up with a sensible gun law and we'll talk about it. But confiscation is not it. Background checks are already occurring. And a lot of these instances, people are obtaining guns illegally anyway. So the laws that are in place aren't being followed. What is putting more laws in place going to do? Yeah. Just going to make it harder for, well-meaning people to get.
I also have a theory. I have a theory that anyone that is super opposed or super opposed to guns or in support of more restrictions, like people that ask them their experience with guns, because most of the time they're not very well educated on handling a gun, shooting a gun, and being able to overall control it. And so therefore, to me, they get scared and they don't actually they just don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's just the answer. Just stay away from it. It's not good.
Right.
So is there a law, though, that maybe I probably disagree that there's a law that would prevent this shooting, but is there a law that would have made it better? Like maybe less people would have died? Like, for example, if we outlawed higher capacity magazines.
Doesn't matter.
No.
You don't think it matters at all?
The magazine is 3D printable and obtainable, not whether there are laws or not.
Okay, high capacity. So this guy killed, I mean, if you were trained and you knew what you were doing, this guy killed 19 people. How many bullets in theory do you need for that? 19. How many clips is that? 2.
Or 1.
Or not clips, but
Magazines.
no, I'm saying even if you had a standardized, like restricted magazine.
But I mean, you can buy a 20-round magazine.
30, easy.
Yeah, or 30. And
or 100.
And is that necessary? Like
to be able to buy them, to be able to have them, you're saying?
Right. Like if as a country we said, instead of limitless magazines, they're 5 rounds or 10 rounds.
California has restrictions on their rounds.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure no one ever gets shot over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
or what? You can only kill 6 people now because you'd only hold 6 bullets? Like, it just isn't a logical...
Well, I'm just thinking if they had... If this guy shot all those people with 1 magazine, but was forced to instead buy 5-round magazines and had to change 2 to 3 times, maybe that would have saved a couple lives.
It doesn't matter because it wasn't a gunfight back and forth where he killed 19 people. He just walked up to innocent, unarmed people and shot them. So whether he had to change his magazine or not is basically irrelevant.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
just change your magazine. You've seen people change magazines.
Yeah.
It's seconds.
Yeah.
Change your magazine, just keep shooting. Even if it's 6 rounds. I mean, that would be like saying that revolvers are not lethal.
I don't know.
They only
though,
hold 5 rounds.
If you're an 18-year-old kid doing something that obviously has your adrenaline going, I mean, sometimes it's hard to put a magazine in. Like sometimes you miss, sometimes you don't push it in hard enough. I don't know. I'm just trying to think here, like, and the problem is what they're saying is like, oh, there's something we can do about this. I don't think there is. I think it's like the COVID thing. I think that as far as the government should have gone is, this disease is bad. Everybody wash your hands, stay away from each other, wear your mask, and put out commercials and stuff like that. They didn't need to shut anything down or regulate anything because ultimately it didn't have any effect. Might be the same here. But if one side is crying and saying, oh, we need this gun control, and they can compromise on magazine capacity, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know.
And again, I have no problem with compromising on that stuff, but I don't see how that would solve anything.
I don't think it would. It just like I said. Same thing with September 11th. September 11th happens, and instead of just locking the cockpit, which would have solved everything that September 11th, everything that happened is solved with a locked cockpit, right? They can't get into the pilot. Or emergency override remotely from like air traffic control that can take control of the airplane and fly it.
Air marshals.
But in addition to all that, we have all this airport screening and metal detectors and stuff like that, like
scanners.
And in theory, it makes us safer, but does it prevent 9/11 any better than just locking the cockpit did?
I think it makes us feel safer.
Right. And that's what it's about. Like,
I think it makes people more scared, actually.
Well,
I don't think it makes anyone feel safer.
But what it is about is people feeling like they've done something. Like, oh, these kids died. I've got to do something. We've got to do something. I agree. Let's
do the thing that affects the most amount of people so that they think they're safe rather than the one simple thing that would fix it. Like, and I tell me if I'm totally ignorant, a single point entrance for a school, like you can only go in one point and you secure that point. That seems pretty simple. There's emergency exits. People can leave.
It is simple, but not very logical.
Yeah.
Why is that?
The janitor is in the back of the school, and he needs to get in to the school in order to mop the floors, and he wants to go in the,
Well, the kids go
Has to
in and
go all
out
the
of
way around
recess
and-
from multiple doors. And
I know, and
I see. Yes,
so like the
that
back,
would work,
the back
but it would not be
exits,
logical.
I've been in buildings like this. You exit. There's 2 exit doors
Right.
in an emergency exit going out. You walk out, and one door has to shut before the other one opens.
yeah.
Like the prison.
There's nothing like like a prison.
Which is there's a reason
But
why
guess
it's
what?
that way.
How many
They're safe.
shootings are there in prisons? Oh
Right.
wait, there's still tons of murders. They just bring in knives. Oh, that's right.
Toothbrushes
Yeah.
shaved down to a point.
Well,
Anyway.
yeah, and the Boston Marathon bombings are a perfect example. Like, are we going to outlaw pressure cookers? Like, nobody's ever said anything about that. That was used to.
Or fireworks.
That
Why
was,
do we need
that
fireworks?
was one of the biggest terrorist attacks since 9/11, and they just bought stuff at the
grocery
stores.
store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You didn't need ID for it. Or
Yeah,
anything.
I think that I don't know what the solution is, but the problem is not guns. The problem is mental health. What do we do about people who are psychopaths that would do something like this? I don't know.
Well, and what one side is saying in this is like, why are we letting people who are mentally ill buy guns? Like, is there not something to say with it might be too? Yes, we have the right to buy a gun and to bear the gun or the arm or whatever, but might it not be too easy to do that?
No, it's not.
Like what would be the harm in saying, "Oh, you want to buy a gun? Here's this interview you have to do with a person."
I'll tell you why. Because it is not based on a scientific research. You don't pee on a stick and it says yes or no
Right.
to detect mental illness. It all boils down to people's opinions.
Right.
And the truth is, go research this yourself. Look up psychiatrists and psychologists, criminals, like criminal records, and you will see they are not exactly the greatest people in the world.
Yeah.
They will slit their own mother's throat for money. And I mean, some of them. Obviously, a lot of them want to do well, but the problem is you're now putting somebody into a room before they go buy a gun to talk to somebody else that, based off of their opinion, can say whether they're right or wrong. So then what happens to that doctor when that person does use it for a school shooting?
Yeah.
Do they lose their license? Or like, it just doesn't solve the problem. Because I'll tell you why. Everyone I know that has mental illness, basically you go and take drugs and you don't get cured. You just take drugs forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not an exact science.
So what about this idea? What if instead of getting interviewed by like a psychologist, which I agree could be problematic, what if instead you just had to bring 3 references in from adults with their signature on it saying, "I think my buddy Bill should be able to buy a gun."
No. Because
Yep.
whether I was crazy or not, I have 3 friends that would sign for me.
Or
Or
I can write 3 unique signatures.
but there's some liability there for those people.
Then I'd never sign for anyone.
Well, and that's the thing. And maybe people wouldn't be able to get guns as much or as quickly. Like I would sign for a gun for you,
Ooh, you're stupid.
and you could probably
That's a
find.
joke, by the way.
But you know what I mean? Like people who are sound in their mind and have healthy relationships with people shouldn't have a
Right.
problem doing that. Where people who aren't are probably going to have more of a problem. Like, wouldn't it help, at least like in this case, this kid, like probably would have had a hard time coming up with 3 people with like a notarized signature
Yeah.
saying, yeah, go ahead and buy a gun.
Yeah, I totally get the point on it. I really do. Like, I guess if we stop manufacturing guns right now and we stop selling guns in the entire country, I still think this would be a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
It does, like, you could stop everything. There's a secondhand
Even
market.
if we stopped selling guns legally, it would still be a problem.
Well, you
Because
can
people
3D
will-
print them now.
People will get guns if they want them. I just don't think that making it harder for them to get a gun is going to keep them from committing these crimes.
And I'm telling you, if we got rid of guns completely, there would be a knife. It would be a pressure cooker. It would be a slingshot. It would be poison. It would be whatever else other people
Slingshot.
want to do. Yeah, slingshot
Simpson.
with poison.
But would it be as frequent?
Yeah.
There's no way
I
for
think it
me to
would.
tell.
You think it would?
I would. Yes, I think it would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that the crazy is equal.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, the crazy has got to be. I mean, it's got to be a straight up result of social media, right? I mean, as soon as social media came around, these shootings skyrocketed to the point where it used to be like if you can Wikipedia list of mass shootings, and like in the 10s and 20s there were like 5 in the decade, 30s had like 6, 40s had like almost none. Everyone was at war, you know.
Yeah.
By the time you get up to the 90s, it was like in that whole decade there might have been like, I don't know, 20 mass shootings. And now it's up to like that many a year.
Yeah.
Like it breaks it down by decade, and then once it hits the 2010s, it's every year listing them out individually. Like,
so if you want to know, and the reason I think that restrictions are not that great is, you go to some of the big cities, and a lot of times they're run by Democrats and they're blue cities, and the murders that occur on a weekly basis there trump every single mass shooting that happens in an entire calendar year.
yeah,
Like Chicago, I can't remember what the murder rate there is now, but it's teens per week.
yeah,
And it's like you go a year of that, compare that to a year of mass shootings, it's like, and their gun restrictions are pretty hefty there. Same thing with California and New York.
yeah.
But on the flip side, I think a good idea would be like, I don't know, $44 billion that we just sent to Ukraine. Like, we could just like use that to like actually put in some effects here. I don't know anyone that, like, if everyone is truly this concerned about their schools, why wouldn't we take volunteers or ex-military or ex-cops and just say, hey, you have a salary now. You live at this school. You're here at all school hours.
Yeah, I know.
Like a air marshal.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Utah is making efforts. There are businesses in Utah that are training teachers on how to deal with active shooter situations, and there are also people in Utah that want to allow teachers to be able to have the option to carry in the classroom. And I think that I think the easiest solution that we can have, ignoring all of the mental health issues, I don't know how to fix the mental health stuff besides get rid of social media, because I think social media does more harm than good. But I think one of the easiest things we can do is get rid of gun-free zones and allow people to carry for the sake of defense anywhere.
Yeah.
And I worry a little about giving them to teachers, just because, as you guys know, we drove some teachers to their wits' end.
Yeah.
And if they had a gun in their drawer, they may have just pulled it out and shot us.
I don't like the idea of teachers, but if you had a
school
sign-up
marshal
sheet, or you had a school marshal, or you had whatever, like, for example, if they said, hey, any parents that are like want to come in, do this background check, we'll look into you, we'll do this stuff, and you can volunteer and you can
walk the grounds,
carry, and you just hang out here and you have a shift. It's like a night watch or neighborhood watch. Why not?
I've mentioned this before, but I do like the idea of a safe under every teacher's desk.
This is a cool idea.
And when the gun goes off or whatever, the decibel level trips and all the safes in the school unlock, so that all the teachers can grab a gun. And so,
see, what I liked was there's a button in every teacher's room.
Yeah.
And if a certain amount of them are all holding the button down at the same time, it just mag locks every single door in the whole building
Yeah.
and opens up a case that has some sort of defense items.
yeah,
Maybe it's a shield, maybe it's a firearm. I don't know.
yeah,
But it does seem, here's my point. If you knew that there was a armed, trained person at every single school, at least one, potentially 2 or 3.
Go down.
Why would you even go in there if you knew for a fact? Like, how many mass shootings happen at pawn shops where everyone's freaking armed?
Yeah.
And how long does that last? Or how many mass shootings happen at airports, or police stations. I mean, I know it happens, and people go into those places with guns just because they're crazy.
And they don't last long.
But you don't walk in and shoot 26 people. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, and I do think it would deter more people from going into like elementary schools. But again, they're just going to find another target, like Walmart, or people in a crowd somewhere. And that's the really sucky thing is like, even that we're having this conversation, because it really makes you feel like today in America that almost like we're in a war zone. Like we're talking about military level preparedness for like elementary schools, like sending your kid to kindergarten. It's not something we
shouldn't have to think about.
Right.
But it's the reality that we're in.
Yeah.
Well, the problem to me is like Jake said, the social media aspect, but there's also the idea of 24-hour news cycles.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, and I'm not trying to be ignorant with this, but if this shooting happened 25 years ago, 30 years ago, when would we have found out about it?
The newspaper or the nightly news?
Exactly, the nightly news. We'd hear a 3-minute snippet about it, and you'd go, "Oh, that's unfortunate."
Yeah.
But they wouldn't be releasing the names of every single person and the parents, and people wouldn't be investigating and getting this in-depth story and pulling at your heartstrings, saying, "Would you want your child?" Blah blah blah. You know, they try and sensationalize every single story that comes up so much that it doesn't matter if it's in Japan or in your own city or in New York or in Texas. They make it seem like it's happening to you.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not happening to you.
Yeah, I just... Things like this are so politicized that I don't think we're going to get anywhere on it until we get people who are on both sides to come together and like compromise on something.
What if it was just as simple as outlawing social media? TikTok, Twitter, Facebook.
That's why
How would we get
I always pray
our
for
episodes out there, though?
I pray for a solar flare. Solar flare
Wipes it
wipe
all
out
out.
every
An EMP?
electronic and the everything.
And the actions of every
That wouldn't
weapon.
take us into insanity.
Oh, it'd be great.
Oh yeah, there would be a lot of bad things going on if that happened.
I
think so?
I honestly think
I don't
most
think
people...
so.
For 72 hours after all electronics
Oh,
were
people
out,
would be going crazy.
they'd be going crazy.
You know
There'd
what
be a lot
else
of
is-
crazy
I
stuff.
don't think they would. I honestly think most people, when they can't get on social media, their brain just goes, "Oh,"
Nope.
and they just move on to something else.
Well, that means no internet, no video games, no
Half the people couldn't go to work.
no cars.
Half the people couldn't
Wouldn't
drive.
work. It would be mass devastation.
It would be massive.
Economically, yeah,
But
it would.
social media, you eliminate a small aspect of the internet, like social media, then yes, I think eventually the outcome would be more positive than negative.
Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. Why outlaw guns when the clear problem, it's not like we started selling, maybe we did, but it doesn't seem like we just started making guns cheaper all of a sudden or more accessible. I don't know.
Nope.
But we did start all this social media stuff where kids get on and get bullied and harassed.
They get disconnected from reality.
Yeah. Well, and from people. They don't see people as like human beings that they interact with. They're just these like
Verbal
annoying like things on the internet, and like I'm gonna make them mad. What'll show them I'm really mad. The worst thing I can possibly think of.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna go do. I don't know. I don't know the psychology of these wackos, but
Yeah, I do want to mention that to kind of put a close to the discussion. Just mention that Uvalde, Texas, is known for its production dating back to the 1870s of Guajillo honey. That's what Uvalde, Texas, is known for.
that's where it happened.
Well, they produce Guajillo honey, whatever that is.
That's where the
shooting was.
A light colored honey. Yeah,
Yeah.
the town where this occurred. That's what they're known for.
Oh.
Why would you say that?
Because
Seems a little non sequitur.
it
Nope.
is completely.
No, but I like that you didn't say the guy's name though,
No,
because I think
I-
we should quit doing
Hell
that.
yeah.
If anyone listening wants to know his name, find it somewhere else, but you're not going to get it here.
Yeah.
I wanted to read a list of all the names of the victims so that we could At least,
You know what? I wouldn't even want that. I think that we need to take some serious respect and understanding for that. But I don't think we need to politicize this. I can tell you right now, if one of my kids passed away doing this, I wouldn't even want their name out there. It's a very personal thing that happened to these 20 families or whatever. And we need to have all the respect and care and love to them that we possibly can, because it's not okay. And it's not a news story. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, why'd you even bring it up?
Well, essentially what I wanted to do, I wanted to tribute the people who have been impacted, but
yeah,
it's true. I'm sorry, Jake. I don't mean to poop on.
But I see what you're saying. Like, we have an issue. We don't know how to fix it. And if we could keep this subject on top of our minds legislatively, then maybe and have some humility on both sides of the aisle, that we could come together and come up with something to help people. Because I think there were 22 victims of this, direct victims.
Right.
Those who died, and this kid who probably was suffering from some major health issues that he didn't know how to deal with. He had some demons in his life that he couldn't clear.
I hate to bring it up, but living with grandma, obviously there's already a problem there. Wasn't he living with his grandma?
He was living with his grandma. He didn't have any friends anyone knew of. No girlfriend. No.
Where's his mom? Where's his dad?
He most likely had some serious trauma in his life that could have been resolved and taken care of, and his mental health was obviously a big issue here.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that this trauma and mental health problem is manufactured. It's created, and I don't mean by other people. I mean, literally, where are this kid's parents? Why did they? What are they doing?
Yeah,
are they drug addicts that are gone?
Well, and yeah, somebody did the trauma.
Right.
Get that.
Yeah, we don't know much about him yet, but
anyway.
Sorry,
I
Jake.
just had another brilliant idea I was going to throw out there.
Oh, okay.
Why do we let kids get on social media at all?
I don't let mine. They don't have any.
But I mean,
media.
as a law, and again, I don't know. I'm just saying it seems like that is a huge contributor to this stuff. Why not just outlaw? Like, why not say if it's a social media platform, an adult has to be paying a subscription, if it's $1 a month or a year or whatever, like in theory, pornography or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Why do we let kids get on social media? Well, because it's a fun thing.
Yeah,
on the surface, social media is lighthearted and well-meaning, but it's the nature of human beings that make it as bad as it is.
Yeah,
that's right. Same thing with guns. They're well-meaning, well-intentioned. You put it in the wrong hands and it gets messed up.
Yeah.
Except for high-capacity magazines, only Satan would make such a thing.
I mean, I think that I think that most people in charge of making laws in this country truly don't care about the mental health of our kids and the social media.
I don't
aspects,
think they care about the
negative aspects of social media. I think they care about power, they care about money, and they care about influence.
I don't think they care about this shooting. I think a lot of them go, "Oh, right, a talking point." Mm-hmm.
This is a very quick story, but I took a tour once of Channel 4, Channel 5. I can't remember. It was their news station. And one of the guys I was with asked one of the person giving the tour, which I can't remember who it was. It wasn't like some of the famous anchors or anything, but it was someone that was really involved in it. The news, like dictating what goes on the news and what doesn't, basically. They were like the administrative person giving us a tour of the studio, which was really cool, by the way. But he said, what is the most exciting thing for you to report on? Like, is it the Super Bowl? Is it this? Is it this? Is this? And he said the Trolley Square shooting was one of the craziest things we've ever experienced, and it's what we live for. if you have somebody who's living for something like that, they are the root of evil. They're not good people. They're pushing that and shoving that in your face so hard and they actually get a rise out of it. They enjoy it.
Well, it's like that movie Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal or whatever.
Gyllenhaal.
Jake
Was
Gyllenhaal.
it him?
Sure.
I think so. But that's what he's a news guy, and he went around at night pretty much with his police scanner. And when there was an accident or a shooting or something, like that's where he was. And he got to the point where he's like, why don't I just manufacture this?
Yep. That's a real story from South America.
Yeah.
People actually make money and they make money and they create power and they off of all this bad news. And that's why they shove it in your face so hard. Treesus, when he was here, the Treesus Bartleby, he had it. He's saying that what needs to end is that the promotion of all this negative news and this murder here and that rape over there and these people ran away and this person did that thing. They constantly shove it in your face to the point where you're just the total effect of it. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, John Krasinski, when COVID came out with his little YouTube channel called Some Good News, I think is what it was called, SGN. And he only talked about good stuff going on.
Yeah.
But that lasted like a year.
Failed miserably.
A year and a half, maybe. It got big, but popular. It was a trendy thing. And then we just go back to here we are talking about negative, crappy things.
Speaking of news that failed, not to segue away from this, but we didn't even talk about the CNN Plus thing.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that didn't last
So
very long.
CNN Plus is like their version of Disney Plus.
A paid
subscription
version of subscription-based news thing.
Yeah, you may recall that they poached Mike Wallace. Is that his name?
He is one of their anchors, yeah.
The Fox News guy.
Or was he from Fox News?
What's that guy's name?
I don't remember.
The anchor of Fox News. He was like one of the best in the business. I think it was Mike
I don't
Wallace. Anyway, they poached him from Fox News.
Wow.
He's been there like 30 years. He went over there, did like 3 episodes, and they're like, we're pulling the plug. We put $300 million into this
Yeah,
thing.
I think it was Wallace.
Yeah. And now he's jobless. Poor guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So,
was that your main topic?
no, it was not my main topic.
Dang it.
I still have a world news item, and then I was going to go into our main topic, but
Well,
so
that's another episode apparently.
So my world news item is called "This is why we pay Secret Service to protect former presidents."
Oh yeah.
Why?
Just recently, a plot to kill George W. Bush in revenge for the Iraq War was foiled by the FBI. There was a FBI informant who spoke to a gentleman from the Middle East who said that he was involved in a plot to kill President Bush, and he was excited to participate in that, and he ended up getting arrested. So, and
Probably because he posted it on social media.
It's not good for anyone.
It was
Terrorists.
The informant had what sounded like a Middle Eastern name, so he probably acted as an ally to this guy, and maybe was tipped off by the FBI that there's some curious activity going on by him or something, and he ended up admitting to being excited to be a part of this plot, and it didn't happen. So it was supposed to be in direct revenge for the thousands of people who have died as a result of our presence in Iraq.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. It makes me think like, because now I feel like people are like, oh man, I miss Bush. You know what I mean? Even people that before hated him. I think I've heard that several times.
I miss
Clinton.
Clinton.
As much as people hate a lot of the politicians now, I guess I'm surprised we don't see those type of attempts more. And I'm in no way saying you nut jobs that like you should go out and do it now. I'm just saying like the way people talk about politicians and stuff is like you would think, that kind of thing would happen. But
we don't have any nut jobs that listen to this.
Yeah.
No,
they're all
only
awesome.
Sane people
Who would not commit crimes.
If you're
Anyway.
insane, call in now. 385-DAD-0-MUG.
Yeah.
The lines are open. So
Ring.
Hello.
what I wanted to talk about on our main topic today was our backpacking trip, because that will have occurred the next time we record, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
what?
right.
Our backpacking trip
Will have occurred next week?
time we record. Are we recording next week before we go?
Is next week when we're going?
Well,
No, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
Phew.
So next week when we can talk about it.
We can talk about it next week.
Yeah. And it'll release the day that we leave.
As a teaser, we are not sponsored by Peak Refuel.
Yeah, we didn't.
And we had to purchase all of us collectively purchased a lot of Peak Refuel for this trip, and we will be consuming it while we were there. We are there, and we will review our favorite dishes.
Why don't you take us out on a wild ride?
Yep. So thanks for listening to the American Forked Podcast. We have a lot of things going on in the world right now, and there are only 3 of us who are trying to make the world a better place. We have our own opinions, but we are more than willing to listen to everything that people have to say, because we don't believe that we are only correct. So if you have anything that you would like to have on the show, if you want to be on the show, if you have an opinion that, or something that we have talked about that irks your gizzard and makes you want to
That's not a term.
yell and scream, that was a term when I was growing up.
Oh, okay.
Irks my gizzard. I don't know where I got it from.
I know what that means.
You get hair on your palms after that. Yeah, come on the show.
If you want to be on the show,
Yeah.
just email us at info@americanfork.com or
That's right.
call or text the voicemail line 385-DAD-0-MUG. As always, we appreciate you listening. If there's anybody who you think should that would appreciate the show, go ahead and share this or any other episode with them, and everyone smile.
Yep.
Smile.
Sorry for the depressing episode.
Yeah, smile and don't shoot people. And if you know
Jeez.
someone that you think might shoot some people,
Maybe let someone know.
call someone.
Yeah.
It sucks though, because like you call the police, you're like, I think my brother might shoot someone, and they're like, well, did he say that? No. Did he write that on social media? Well, no.
No, you're right,
Right.
Phil. We
It's
shouldn't
like-
do anything.
Yeah.
Again,
It's a good plan.
What do you do? We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you do, but whatever it is, do it next time.
Lock up your guns in a safe place.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess you can do
That's
that.
good.
Did we solve America today?
No.
I don't think so.
I think we
Not
thought of
really.
some ideas on how it could be solved.
I have a really quick idea. The same thing. We could all, like 6 teachers can push a button and the whole school just fills with foam.
Oh yeah, like
So you can't see anything.
like foam from the first Hulk movie where they like filled the hallway with foam so he couldn't move.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that the elephant toothpaste stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like airplane hanger.
Or like the balls that that you play
Okay,
in.
Jake.
They,
This is
they
getting
fall, they all fall from the ceiling. So what is the one thing that you want to do when you're in a pit of balls?
Just set down your bananas.
You want to play around, right? Play in the balls. Nobody wants to do